Hello and welcome back to Warrior Priest, and I'm still on the lookout for something absolutely amazing. I'm still looking out for this wonderful chest armor that for some reason I can never find. I really don't know why I can never find any of this stuff, but that's just how it is. That is just how it is. Anyway, we are just about to have a war declaration on our hands, and we are the ones taking the opportunity and, well, shall we say, taking the offensive. And that is actually kind of strange. Usually I wouldn't have expected a faction such as ours to do that, but we're going to do it. And apparently I now also have strong legs. He has definitely not been skipping leg day, if I can actually speak properly. Anyway, let's now move on and get very, very ready to attack our first castle. So let's take a look here. How many units are inside? This is one of the most annoying things about Bannerlord for some reason. I don't know why it does this, but whenever there's a tooltip that you want to see, you have to put your mouse right in the sweet spot, shall we say, of the sprite on the map, because that actually makes it very, very, I don't know, it makes it impossible to do it otherwise. So anyway, there's 235 prisoner units inside the garrison here, and there's only 194 defenders. So we should theoretically be absolutely fine to take this. So what we're going to do is... Oh, I actually don't want to do this right now. It's going to be... I want to create an army, you see. I want to create an army, and this is going to be resolved relatively soon anyway. So we're just going to call for some people. It's going to take them a long time to get here. This is going to be a bit harsh. I'm gonna have to start the siege when the war declaration goes through. There we go. I will have to start the siege straight away, and that is unfortunately going to cause me to possibly be attacked before any of my friends actually appear. We can only hope that some of them are actually going to be joining me before the enemy army decides to kill me. I'm not entirely sure why we're not getting anyone coming over here, but yeah, they did say they were going to take 2 days or around there. So it seems like, yes, indeed, we are getting some people coming in now. That's great. And hopefully, if there is an army, I will be prepared to pause the game and then run away like a very brave man. Indeed. Yes, yes. Okay, so wait a minute. We're fine. I'm going to try to destroy the walls, as you do, you know, as you do. And otherwise, we just have to be very, very careful about getting murdered. I can only hope that Balthazar is going to do a good job of distracting the opponent as much as he possibly can, and obviously eliminating as many of the enemy's armies as he can too. But yeah, we just basically have to concentrate on taking fiefs. We just need to take these 2 castles, as I outlined in the previous episode. I really do want to take these 2 castles nearby to my town. That is going to make... yeah. That is going to make the biggest difference. Okay, this is not great. Or is it? Let me just take a quick look here. Okay, so this is where actually taking a bit of time and analyzing your opponent is going to be extremely important, because especially in asymmetrical situations like this, where you are primarily going to be dealing with either the Empire or the Vampire Counts. Obviously at the moment we are only having to deal with 2 different kinds of factions, but obviously as the mod expands and becomes even better than it already is, there's just going to be even more analyzing that needs to be done, because then you're going to think to yourself, okay, what does this guy have? Is he ready to attack me? Does he have a decent amount of, in the case of the Empire, does he have a decent amount of Empire, Reichsguard, cavalry, or something like that? But no, I think we should be able to defeat this guy. I don't think he actually has the ability to win. Hilariously enough, he thinks he has the ability to win. I am very surprised that he thinks that, to be honest. Because, well, maybe he's oh no, maybe he has a lot of really, really good spells. Oh, now I'm worried. Oh, and this is this is very close. Right. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Matthias is going to be doing that. There we go. Okay, that's absolutely fine. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to tell these guys to go into an auto delegate. These are the horse archers. So we're just going to basically just tell them to go off and do whatever they want, basically. And then otherwise, I am going to try my best at a wonderful... Okay, here we go. Okay. I think that was actually decent. I think that was alright. I don't think that was amazing. But I definitely think it was okay. You know, it was okay. And now we're going to tell everyone to charge. That's what we're going to do. I have my pillar at the ready. I don't really want to use my pillar just yet. I would like to wait until we have a bit more of an idea as to what's going to happen. I might just want to use Radiant Gaze instead. Lots of spells going off here. Gotta love those effects, that's for sure. Okay, I'm gonna wait until Radiant Gaze comes back, and then I might decide to do something with it. Let me see. No, actually, I'm not gonna do anything with it for the moment. And instead, I'm just going to shoot a couple of enemies with my gun. There we go. Take that, Crypt Guard. Thank you. Yes. Okay, wait a minute. These guys need to... Oh, yeah, I really want to deal with... I don't even know what to do. There are so many ways that I can... Influence the battle. I was going to say. Yes. There are so many ways I can influence the battle, and I still... Shakes fist. Yes, I could still literally not find better armor than what I have at the moment. I really do need to do that, especially my... What was actually hit from it? My legs? Really? My legs? I thought I upgraded my leg armor. Oh well, never mind. Okay. Yeah, that was a hit and a half, wasn't it? How much damage did he deal? 152 damage. Yeah, it was piercing damage as well, so I wholeheartedly assume that that was the reason why we... just ended up dying super easily right there. Very, very disappointing, though, I've got to say. Because now we are in a situation where we... No, we're not going to lose. I don't think. I actually don't know. I mean, my cavalry should be doing massive damage, but obviously I'm dead, so I can't really do much. We only had... How many units did we have? I think we had 700 or so, and the enemy had 800, and we've only... Oh, no. We're going to win this, I think. We are going to win this. We've got to bear in mind, though, that they, of course, are going to summon skeletons. Every single one of them probably has the ability to summon skeletons. But skeletons, of course, are basically just fodder. But they are going to absorb damage. You've got to remember that. They are going to absorb damage, and they're going to be very good at doing that. But it seems like we have achieved victory. Despite me getting eliminated by a wonderful attack by one of their cavalry. I gotta say, I was not expecting to get eliminated through that. I thought to myself, okay, maybe I'll get killed by a spell. Maybe I'll get killed by something really... I don't know, like a shot to the face or something like that from one of their archers or something. I don't really know, but... I never expected to get killed in that respect. 152 piercing damage, pretty crazy. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're just going to take all of these... I only have... Oh yeah, my vassals took the rest. Okay, well that is good to know as it is. Alright, no problem. No problem. And we're just going to be... I can't actually take any of these prisoners. Can't actually take any of these. I'm going to just take all of them back once again, just to take the highest tier units. And then we're just going to swap these guys around for the vassals. There we go. And then we're just going to leave it. Because I am not close to a town by any means, so there really is no point. But yeah, I haven't found anything better than this Blood Knight armor at the moment. I think I did find something better, but I didn't really want to use it because it was so unthemed, shall we say. It just wasn't very thematic at all in regards to my my current thing that I'm trying to do. Yes, there we go. The quest from the previous episode has now timed out. I have no idea where those fellows were. I really have no clue. So maybe I'll be able to take the quest again, and then I'll be able to find them that time. But yes, anyway. I am wondering whether I should tell my prisoners to get sold. I'm not entirely sure whether I should do that, or whether I should just put them in the garrison. I think I'll probably just put them in the dungeon, to be honest. That would probably be the best idea. And then what we'll do is we'll go into the garrison, and I will take out a bunch of units. Let me see. What do I have? I would like to get some cavalry if at all possible. I only have very small amounts of them. Could get some more horse archer based units, I guess. That might be kind of useful. And otherwise, I have a lot of recruits in the... Yes, I have a lot of recruits here. Okay, let's just take these guys, and there we go. Okay, so we're back up to full strength. And my army is quite significantly depleted, but we did eliminate an extremely large enemy force. And in my opinion, I think that's pretty worth it, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's pretty much worth it. So anyway, we are now going to go into the castle once again, and we will try to construct our trebuchets, try to destroy the walls, and hopefully take it. I don't really want to do standard siege mechanics where I basically just create a siege tower and a battering ram and then go in there. I have always found that, at least in the old realms, I do not like doing that one bit. I feel like I lose way too many units as a result of it, and it's just not very efficient. Whereas if we destroy the walls, we're able to get in to the enemy's courtyard relatively fast, and we can also then use spells easily. And if you do that with a siege tower, it's very difficult to actually get spells working on top of a siege tower. At least that's been my experience. Maybe if you're a little bit better at using spells than I am, then you'll probably have a much better time of things. But I can only now hope and cross my fingers that we're not actually going to be receiving any other unwelcome guests in the form of very, very strong armies, please. Let's not have anyone else come over here. Bear in mind the vampire counts are pretty strong, and they are probably going to be able to field an army quite fast yet again. But thankfully the walls are now down. We should be able to go straight back on in here, and hopefully with my spells actually be able to turn the tide of the battle in our favor. Obviously we're probably going to be able to achieve victory no matter what here, because the enemy's garrison is significantly depleted. But you've also got to bear in mind that it's me, and I could end up just completely dying at the very start. So let's hope that that doesn't happen. Okay, hello there, sirs. Hello. Would you like to attack me? I am waiting. Ow. Not you, sir. I did not welcome you to attack me. Okay, so let's... Okay, yeah, I actually wanted to draw all of them out, but obviously only a handful did, and I didn't really want to use a Pillar of Radiance against, yeah, I don't know, 8 units. That would be a highly, highly wasteful thing to do. Let me just see if I can reload real quick. Oh, hey, get out of here! I'm gonna shoot you in the back now, sir. Or if I can actually do that. Oh, never mind. Okay, apparently I just absolutely suck. Wonderful, very nice. Oh, and now I reloaded that fast? I had no idea I reloaded that fast. I thought I was still clicking to reload. Okay, whatever the case. Let me actually see if I can do something here. Where's my pillar? Here we go. Okay, pillar. Do I want to activate it? Well, I did, but too late. Yeah, too late. But thankfully Patrice actually gained a level. That's real nice. That is really nice. You know what? In those situations, I should just be a support character, in my opinion. I should just think about being a support character. See, now that's the main reason why I always have difficulties with playing spellcasters, or at least I seem to have a bit of a problem with playing spellcasters, because what's going to happen is every single time I go for an offensive spell, I'm going to have this happen. I go for the offensive spell, I get eliminated because my concentration is entirely taken up with trying to make the spell as damaging as possible. And I think in the end, you know what I have to do? I just have to not care, you know, I just have to not care. I can probably do that pretty easily, right? So yeah, anyway, I'm going to be capturing and indeed claiming this fief, and then we're going to be putting all these units back in there. And do I have any Sylvanians? I don't think I have any Sylvanians or anything like that. Let me just sort out my my units automatically, make sure that we know exactly what I'm putting in here. Okay, these guys, yeah, and we should have, we have a lot of units that are very good, but it's very difficult for me to decide between them. How fantastic. Yeah, I mean, this is my my garrison here, so even if I put in some really powerful units, doesn't really, you know, doesn't really change things that much. But yeah, anyway, let's just put a bunch of money in there. Obviously, we've got to bear in mind that I am now starting to have money problems, as I did in the Necromancer series as well. I had around, well, a relatively similar amount to how I have now, and yet, all of a sudden, I had none left, because I was starting to garrison fiefs. I was paying a lot of party wages, my own wages, and so on and so forth. So it really makes a big difference. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to be building a siege workshop really fast. It's gonna take 18 days. Oh, it's because it's a castle. Ah, that's actually really sad. Oh well, whatever the case, it should be fine. Or at least I hope so. I think it will be fine. Yes, that's going to be a little bit problematic, isn't it? Okay, well, whatever the case, I will just put all of the prisoners in there, and then we'll just set up our improved garrison. We want to make it so that we get a pretty good amount of troops, so 260 something, doesn't really matter either way. And we'll make them tier 3 units or so. And then we're just going to wait here for some time. I'm going to have to improve my cohesion here a little bit as well. There we are. Okay. Whew. Now that that's done, hopefully I will be able to do the same to the nearby castle. The other one, that is. Yes, the other one. There's actually another one over there as well. And there's also someone attacking this village. Why are you attacking this village? That's kind of weird, isn't it? Why would they attack their own village? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, this guy is running very fast. Apparently has much greater speed than we do. Obviously, we are in an army, so of course it makes sense. Okay, so we have the ability to now vote for peerage. I don't really care about voting for peerage, actually. I guess I will just abstain from that. But I do want to go into the other policies. Because if I go into the other policies here and I actually take a look, so for example, you can see here, Sacred Majesty, no, I don't really care about that too much. I would like to go for something, what could I go for? I'm thinking, I mean, this is really good for the ruler clan and stuff like that, but obviously at the moment, probably not the best idea for us specifically. No, it doesn't really help me at all. I'm trying to look for things that will actually help me specifically, but it's going to be very difficult to do that unless I take... What is that one thing that increases... I mean, this is really good, but I'm never going to get this to pass, unfortunately. Where is that, actually? Is it Noble Retinues? It should be Noble Retinues, right? But where is that? There it is. Oh. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. This seems really good, actually. I would like to do this. There we go. That's really nice because that basically just increases our faction's overall power by just a straight margin right there. I mean, obviously, they are going to be losing 1 influence per day, but I mean, really, what's 1 influence in comparison to 40 party size? In my opinion, that's just so incredibly good. Anyway, I'm not tier 5 clan just yet, but we are almost there. Well, I say almost, but yeah, I use that word very sparingly. Unfortunately, I would love to be a bit closer, but we're just going to have to participate in more battles, I suppose. Anyway, I think I placed all my... Yeah, I did place all my prisoners in there. I am now back up to full strength. My army is back up to full strength as well, so let's get going and try to build some more trebuchets and take this castle. Thankfully, it seems like a couple of our vassals in my army at the moment have some pretty decent engineering skills, so they are contributing quite a bit of speed to our efforts here, so we really don't have to worry too much about being attacked because we're taking too long. It's more of a case of, if the enemy's army is in a good place, then they're probably going to be able to attack us. But it seems like maybe they're kind of busy right now, so we can pretty much just do this unassaulted. So let me see, 50,000 HP on the walls, should be fine. They are building catapults, which, as I've said before, I actually prefer. I think catapults are a little bit easier for me to deal with specifically than ballistas. Let me actually just take a quick look at what they have here. Oh yeah, they have basically nothing. Alright, they have basically nothing in the garrison here whatsoever. This is what I absolutely love about fighting the vampire counts. On the one hand, I really dread fighting their actual vampire units, because obviously they're amazing. But on the other hand, I really like doing sieges against them, because unless they have a really well outfitted garrison, the primary unit that you're going to be seeing is pretty much just tier 2, maybe some tier 3s, maybe some tier 4s, but you really will not see that much, that many powerful units. So you can pretty much just have a grand old time. Maybe you can level up your skills while doing this sort of thing. And obviously in the case of a castle like this, it's going to be pretty simple to take. Although, don't look at my example for for an instructional on how to actually take something, because I just die instantly every time. Okay, I'm going to try and shoot a couple of people this time around so that we might actually get... Nice. Oh, now that's what I want to see. Unfortunately, the enemy is coming out here. Gonna shoot one of them. Can I reload while running, by the way? I don't think I can. But I can start the reload and then I can move. Okay, that's good to know. Oh, hello there. Can I do... I'm actually wondering whether I should bother doing anything here, to be honest. You see, this is exactly my point. I'm wondering whether I should do something. You know what? Let's just cast it. I mean, that actually seemed to do some pretty nice What? Oh, did they respawn right there? It seems as though when I cast that, they were in the process of reinforcing their lines, and that actually caused them to run into the line that I had summoned, which was actually kind of funny. But, did you see that guy? He literally got pushed back so far just from that one shot. That was amazing. Love it. Those are the kinds of situations that I really love. Okay, wait a minute. Boom. Nice. Oh yeah. Now this is the kind of instructional that you can take away from this if you're having problems besieging for any reason or another. This is the kind of thing you want to do. You want to be careful, you know? Obviously you're already doing this most likely, and I'm just, you know, saying this to myself. Yes, that's probably the case. All things considered, you know. Usually it's just me. I mean, I'm basically speaking to myself right now. To be fair, you know, in the present, right now, I'm speaking to myself. So technically, I am correct in that regard. But that's what's really cool about obviously video creation in general. You are now hearing words from the past. Think about that. That's pretty crazy. Obviously, it depends on your definition, obviously, but, you know, still, I think that that's actually pretty cool. Anyway, let's just take all the prisoners that we can. No vassals here, no one that we really need to worry about. And I would actually like to increase my steward skill. I think I've forgotten to do that, actually. I will need to do that. So let me just spend a little bit of cash right here. We're gonna cancel all of our things that we were attempting to do. Let's go and get some more loyalty while we regenerate the security of the fief. We have 59 troops in the garrison there, thanks to all of our friends that have just placed units in there too. And we are just gonna slap a bunch in there as well. We have 10 spaces. What do I actually want to put in there? I think I have... Wow, I have a lot of... Yeah, I have a lot of random units around here, so I guess we'll just put those guys in there, and there we go. Okay, 136 units in the garrison. We can also now go into the prisoner's hold, and we can place a bunch of people in there, and that's obviously... They're going to get recruited over time as well, if there's enough space, of course. Let's do 250. Let's go to tier 3. I'm doing, basically what I'm doing with the improved garrison is I'm making it so that they upgrade to tier 3 in castles and tier 4 in towns. I'm not sure if that is a bit too much, because you can see here, you see how much money I'm having to spend in the garrison of Kreuzhofen. It's way too much. It's 2,200 at the moment. I mean, to be fair, it's not that expensive, but as it stands right now, having to spend, what, 4,200 every single day and losing that money without being able to sell or anything like that, yeah, that's a pretty significant expenditure. But we're going to continue our warpath at the moment, and I'm just going to make a brief stopover at our town, because I do need to get some food. Our army is apparently starving in some places, so I'm going to need to rectify that as best I can. And we need to go into the marketplace. Okay, so let's actually have a look. Oh my. We are not doing very well in terms of food, unfortunately, as you can quite clearly tell. Yeah, this is pretty bad. I'm going to keep the animals just in case. You never know. Maybe it's going to be useful. Now we are doing much better in terms of our statistics and attributes in the town. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm thinking... I'm wondering what I should go for. I don't know. That's the thing. I would like... maybe morale? I mean, we don't have any of that at the moment. We don't have any of that. So let's do... yeah, let's do fairgrounds for now, and then we'll just leave that for the moment. Okay, so now what we want to do is obviously we want to sell all of our armaments and various gear that we have acquired over the course of our campaign. And you look at that, 46,000. That's not actually that much, hilariously enough. I might have hoped for a little bit more, but we'll just have to make do. We'll just have to make do. If we need to, then I'm going to need to purge a couple of, I guess, a couple of fiefs, maybe a couple of people from the garrison and things. I'll just have to donate them to some of my parties, potentially. I'm not entirely sure. As you can see, we're getting a bunch of our parties being attacked by Chaos Raiders. They seem to actually be handling themselves very well, surprisingly, in comparison to the companions that we had in the Necromancer series, where they were not that useful. They did tend to get themselves eliminated by the Chaos Raiders, but it seems like the Empire companions do seem to have a bit more resilience towards the Chaos Raiders. So I'm actually really happy about that, because I was a bit worried about sending them out into the world when they only had a maximum company size of about 65 or something like that. So it was actually kind of a bit risky. A bit risky to do that. Anyway, let's actually participate in the vote here. Okay, so Balthazar obviously can be... I guess we'll just vote for him to get that, and we'll just increase our relation with him a little bit. You can see here that some people actually do not like us one bit, but thankfully in this mod we don't really need to worry too much about you know, interpersonal relationships with the other vassals and things like that. We can basically just do our own thing and make sure that we are all good, and then everyone else is going to hopefully be all good as a result of our actions, you know what I mean? So we can kind of carry things without really having to interact that much. Okay, so let's do this. Let's try and get the walls down. Hopefully enemies will not decide to come over here. It seems to me like the vampire counts are spread a little bit too thinly, and that's the reason why we're not really getting any intervention whatsoever, with the exception of that one army that we faced at the very beginning of our conquest here. And I gotta say, I'm actually super surprised, because I would have expected such a strong faction. Actually, I haven't even checked to see how strong they even are. Oh! Then... They're not actually strong. They're not actually that strong. I'm very surprised. What? What is actually going on here? They don't have... I mean, look, they only have 2 less towns. They have 4 more castles. They should theoretically have an overwhelming amount of combat strength. But maybe, I really have no idea. I have no idea. Maybe it's because we have so many tributes coming in. Maybe we have a lot more gold than the vampire counts do, because obviously we do have those additional towns. we potentially have a bit more consolidated territory, so our caravans and our villagers are going to be able to walk around being relatively unharassed potentially, so that might make a bit of a difference as well. Not entirely sure. It's actually kind of funny how much the economy can make a pretty big difference in your faction's combat strength, because obviously if lords do not have money, and in general, you know, if they don't have any kind of economic influence at all, then they're not going to be able to recruit units, they won't be able to upgrade them, and so on and so forth. And they won't be able to even, you know, keep an army that size running for a significant amount of time. So it does actually make a pretty big difference to have, you know, these little caravans being picked off every now and again. It makes a difference whether you see that or not, because obviously most of the time you're not really going to be paying attention to that too much. But there have been many times in the past when I've been doing some testing and things like that where I've basically just stayed in a place and done economic damage only, and it has made a significant difference to that faction's ability to field units. And as I say, you wouldn't think it would make so much of a difference, but it does. And that's actually one of the reasons why I think Bannerlord is actually super fun and very, very cool in the way that it actually simulates those things. Because in Warband, it didn't really work that way. It didn't really work that way. I mean, yeah, sure, you know, caravans and everything, they would definitely make a difference. But for the most part, enemy vassals, and I'm talking about AI here mostly, the AI would pretty much not care about what you were doing to their caravans, I think. Most of the time, I mean, from what I can remember at least. Look at that wonderful healing, by the way. That healing right there that I just did, that literally covered almost the entirety of our attacking force. Super nice. Nice hit. I love the ragdolls. Oh, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, someone actually did mention a repeater rifle. Is that the name of it? I think a repeater rifle is what I need to find, because that apparently has significant knockback, and I love that. Absolutely love that. So we'll have to do something about that, and hopefully try and find one. Obviously, if it's hopefully it's not as rare as getting some decent body armor. That's all I can say. Anyway, there we go. We were able to capture this very easily, in actual fact. Seems like this was even easier than the castles before, surprisingly enough. But yeah, there you go. We were able to do that without too many difficulties. And we're going to be claiming the fief once again. These are the 3 castles that I'm going to be using as a way to kind of just have this territory as my own little domain. And then everything else outside of it, I'm not going to be taking anything. I'm just going to be giving that and donating these fiefs to other people. So that's generally been my plan for a while, ever since we took the town. And yeah, I think that should work out quite nicely. I'm going to continue building these gardens. Should I actually do that? You know what? I'm not going to do that right now. I'm actually just going to make it so that our loyalty gets a bit of a boost first. Hopefully that's actually going to work, because it feels to me like... No, security is obviously a bit of a problem right now, but we are going to obviously fix that in just a second. So we're just going to put all these guys in there. There we go. Fantastic. That's obviously not enough, but it's going to be enough for now, hopefully. Let's go over here. There we are. And let's do 250 or so. And there we have it. Okay, perfect. So now all we need to do is wait for the security to be increased, get the loyalty to be at least around 60, maybe 70, and then we'll start upgrading these castles and everything. And I'm going to be taking care of them the best I can as well. Usually you won't see me taking care of my castles that I capture, because generally it's not actually worth it that much. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It very much depends on the fief that you're looking after. I think generally a town is going to be much more... shall we say, much more lucrative to look after than a castle. But if you're going to, you know, have a territory section of the map like this that you want to take care of, then obviously it's going to make a pretty big difference. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to allow the Castellan's office to be completed. And then we're going to just allow it to lapse back into, you know, gaining loyalty and all that stuff at Wusterborg right here. And then hopefully we're going to be able to, you know, see some good reductions from the Castellan's office, because obviously it reduces the cost of the garrison, which is going to be pretty good. Now we don't have anything running here. The loyalty is still having a bit of a problem. The food is okay. We're losing a little bit there, but that shouldn't be too bad. And now there is another war declaration as well, so we have even more problems to deal with. But that actually shouldn't be too bad, because it seems like Selena is doing a fantastic job of taking this town, and we also have another castle over there that is being besieged by Balthazar himself. So it seems to me like we're actually doing remarkably well. And the reason why we are not being pursued or indeed interfered with is that we are so far away from the front lines. I like it. I like it. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.